Some crazy guy on the left tries to assassinate President Trump, and it's Republicans' fault? That's what we just heard. Next thing they're going to say is, oh, some crazy guy on the left tries to assassinate President Trump, and it's President Trump's fault. Oh, wait a minute. They said that too.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that's downright mind-blowing. In a fiery exchange, Jim Jordan went head-to-head with Jerry Nadler in Congress, after Nadler seemed to suggest that somehow, Donald Trump and Republicans are to blame for an attempt on Trump's life. Yeah, you heard that right. The conversation went from outrageous to downright absurd. Stick around, because we're about to break it all down. Let me get this straight. Jim Jordan, who's usually pretty fired up, just couldn't believe what he was hearing. Nadler was blaming Republicans for some left-wing extremist attempt on Trump's life, and this made Jim Jordan snap. Next thing you're going to say, Jordan said, is that it's President Trump's fault too. He didn't hold back. I mean, can you imagine? A guy on the left makes an attempt and somehow it's spun into a way to blame the GOP. This is unreal. It gets even crazier. Jim Jordan points out how Democrats always find a way to make it about Trump. After the Mueller investigation, the impeachment, and even raiding his home, they still push these wild narratives. And now, here we are. But Jordan wasn't done yet. He highlights the real kicker. The Democrats are also trying to prevent Trump from even running for office, using the 14th Amendment. The best way to beat him, they think, is to not let him play at all. It's like watching a political circus unfold. What makes this even more frustrating is that there was a bipartisan bill on the table, one that was supposed to help protect both Trump and Vice President Harris from similar threats. This bill had bipartisan support, folks. Representative Mike Lawler worked hard to bring Democrats and Republicans together on this. But guess what? Democrats couldn't resist turning it into a blame game. Instead of just passing the bill to protect everyone, they decided to stir the pot.
And Republicans are hoping to distract from the common denominator in every successful assassination of a U.S. president, as well as the attempted assassination of President Reagan and the attempted assassination of former presidents and presidential candidates Theodore Roosevelt and Donald Trump. In every single one of these events, the weapon used was a gun. The fact is that the work of the Secret Service is made infinitely more difficult by our lax gun laws. But this Congress, the Republican majority, has repeatedly sought to further weaken our gun laws, endangering our children, our law enforcement officers, our communities, and even their own presidential candidate.
Some crazy guy on the left tries to assassinate President Trump, and it's Republicans' fault? That's what we just heard. Next thing they're going to say is, oh, some crazy guy on the left tries to assassinate President Trump, and it's President Trump's fault. Oh, wait a minute. They said that too. This is ridiculous. We have a bipartisan bill that Representative Lawler went to Democrats, worked with them on something that everyone knows needs to happen. And what does the ranking member do? Says it's Republicans' fault. And what do Democrats do? What did the left do? They say it's President Trump's fault. You cannot make this stuff up. After all that President Trump's been through, they go to that. After they spied on his campaign, after Mueller, after impeachment, after they raided his home, after they tried the crazy 14th Amendment idea. Best way to beat him is not let him play the game, not let him go on the ballot. Thank goodness for the Supreme Court, which decided 9-0 that was bogus. That's what they do? I wasn't even going to talk. I was going to let Mr. Lawler, who's done the work on this, handle all this, and his remarks were totally bipartisan, not partisan at all. We were just going to let this good piece of legislation that's going to go on suspension, everyone's going to vote for, just let it happen. But no, they cannot help themselves. It's ridiculous.
Even the liberal justices weren't buying it. It's like Jim Jordan said, you can't make this stuff up. After everything, they still go after Trump, and the courts had to step in to shut it down. It's almost as if the strategy isn't about law or justice, but about keeping Trump off the ballot at any cost. At the end of the day, this was supposed to be about a bill that protects former and current leaders from real threats. Instead, it turned into another partisan war zone. Jim Jordan didn't even plan to speak, but when the finger-pointing started, he couldn't stay silent. And neither can we, folks. What do you think? Should this bill have passed quietly, or did Nadler have a point? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one.